Hi guys, I hope that this is working. This is my second video, so I am going to see if this works. Okay, so module 2, let's see. Okay, I'm going to minimize this. Module 2, I'm going to talk about some of the basics of Excel formulas, such as the sum, count, min, max, average, multiplying and dividing numbers, and controlling precedence, which is pretty important. I'm going to reference, some of my examples reference a book, and it's a really good book about pretty much everything Excel. I think it's pretty easy to follow. It's called Microsoft Excel 2019 Formulas and Functions. It's by Paul McFedries, and if you buy the book, you have access to a lot of the sample files and whatnot. I'll put a link to the book and the citation in the description of the video. But I'm going to start talking about formulas. All Excel formulas have the same structure. All formulas start with an equal sign followed by one or more operands, which I call arguments. There's a couple different ways to define what goes into a formula: operands, arguments. I like arguments. The different arguments can be values, cell references, ranges, range names, function names, and we will get to all of that in later modules. So I'm just going to go ahead and start off. If you want to open up your own Excel sheet, I'm going to show you how to add in all of these numbers. So what I did, and you can name, so I dragged across, control copy, control paste. If you press the escape key, you will no longer have marching ants. So let's see. In my last video, I did the rand between formula, so I'm going to do that again. Equals rand between. And this, see, all formulas in Excel start with an equal sign. If you don't do an equal sign, you're going to get an error message. So my bottom number, I want to do 10, and my top number, the limit to what I want the number to, the random number generator to generate, I'm going to say 100. Close parentheses. So you always have parentheses in your formulas. You open it and close it, and I just closed that formula. Enter. 20. I'm going to drag it down, and I'm going to drag it across, and it populates the table or range, if you want to call it, with random numbers. So this is my range. And if you want to, if I start typing or click the save button, it should switch. Yeah, if I just start typing, like if I want to do equals something, or even if I type another number and press enter, it changes this range. We don't want that. So what we're going to do is highlight our range, go over to copy, or you can do Control C, and go over to the paste button and paste values and click escape. And now when you start typing other numbers or entering a function, it's not going to change these numbers. So if I type 90 or, you know, a word or text, it's not going to change. So you can do this on your own Excel spreadsheet just to practice with it. I'm going to work with my table that I made over here. So these are all formulas that you're going to use copiously within your finance class, accounting class, especially statistics class. These are some of the most common functions in Excel. And let's start with the count. So the count formula counts the number of rows or the number of anything in your cells in your range. So if I do equals count, open parentheses, like we did in the last video, shift control down, close parentheses, enter. So I have 12 values. if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way down to 12. Also, a kind of an easier way to do this, I think, is if I highlight a group of numbers or a range and look down here, it gives me already my count, which is 12, average, and sum. I think that's a pretty neat trick that Excel does. It definitely is a time saver. But we're going to go ahead and do it manually just so you're more comfortable with the layout of everything. So the sum formula adds a group of numbers together or a group of a range. So equals sum, shift control down. For a Mac, I think it's command shift down. If not, just Google it. Equals, so my sum of this range of C2 to C13 is 715. Average equals average. Same thing, shift control down, enter, my average is 47.5. Max and min, if you want to find the highest number is for max, lowest number is for min, equals max. You could drag or you can do shift control down, enter. My max value for the range E2 to E13 is 100, and my minimum value for the range F2 to F13 is 17. And I just wanted to let y'all know, if you have a stylized with cell, see how I have this highlighted, count sum, it's Calibri 12 font. I can change it to, whatever. But if I want to do, I'm going to show you how to do multiply and divide. You see how Excel knows that I'm adding to this range, so it automatically takes the cell layout and the formatting of the top row. So I think that that's pretty neat. So you don't have to go in and type multiply and then hit the highlight button again. It just does it for you because Excel is smart like that. So just for example, if I wanted to multiply two numbers like 36 and 10, for example, I'd still need to do equals 10, and the multiply icon is the asterisk. So 10 times 36, enter. You can't do 10 times 36. It doesn't know that you're trying to calculate something. That's why that equal sign is important. When you're doing long formulas and whatnot, I mean, I've had students, say there's something wrong with my formula, and it's all because they're missing one equal sign. So same thing with divide. If you want to do equals 36 divided by 10, the divide sign is the slash. So enter. And this right here, controlling precedence. So you should have all learned in your math classes in college and pretty much all growing up PEMDAS. So the order of operations. It's very important in Excel when working with large formulas or dividing complicated formulas and numbers and whatnot. So I'm going to show you a quick example. I have calculating the pre-tax cost of a medical device, and the total cost of this device is $1,025, and the tax rate is 8%. So this is probably one of the most important things that you need to understand about formulas. If I wanted to do equals, I want to find the pre-tax cost of this item. So this is my total cost after tax. So I'm going to do equals B5. I don't need to type out $1,025. I just need to click in the cell. Excel knows that when I click in the cell that B5 is $1,025 divided by 1 plus B6, the tax rate. Enter. Can you guess what's wrong with this? Because this is not correct. So I'm going to do the correct precedence while controlling for precedence equals total cost divided by parentheses 1 plus the tax rate. Close parentheses. Do you see the difference here? So Excel works in order of precedence. If you want a certain calculation done first, you need to put it in parentheses. So I wanted the 1 plus the tax rate done first, because if not, it's going to divide 1,025 divided by 1 and then add 8%. So this is very important. And also I want to note that when you have a tax rate or a tax or percentage in Excel, you can just type 8%. Excel knows that is a percent. Excel knows that it's 0.08. You don't need to type 0.08. And if you may make the mistake at some point doing 0.08%, like 0.08%. This is also incorrect. It will give you a wrong number. Excel knows that when you type 8%, it is 0.08. So be careful about that. That stumped some people in my class. If you are helping other students or have a question, especially when you send a professor your work and want to ask them a question, I think that this is really important to display the formula. And to do that, you go equals formula text and reference G9. So that's where my formula is. And do you see how this tells you right here what the formula is, what you're looking at? It's more for reference than anything, but it definitely makes things easier for who you're trying to communicate this with, I think. So I'm gonna do the same thing. Formula text. Enter. So now you can see that the controlling precedence is very important. I'm going to try to make these videos a bit shorter than 30 minutes, maybe 10 or 15 minutes, and be a bit more specific so you can look up certain functions specifically. I hope this helps, and if you have any questions, please let me know.